Hi, Andy Jones here for day 2 of my Guitarist in a Week series. If you missed day 1, click up here somewhere, or there's a link in the description. Whilst I do a quick recap of day 1, let me know in the comments what you would like to be able to play on the guitar. So in my first lesson I talked about the parts of the guitar, where to put your fingers on a guitar when you're playing chords, how to understand chord boxes in Guitar Tab on a very basic level, and I gave you 3 chords for you to practice. In today's lesson I'm going to give you 3 great simple songs that use those 3 chords. Timestamps are in the pinned comment.
Let's go!
Thanks, Mario. So the first song I'm going to show you how to play with those 3 chords is Love Me Do by the Beatles. Absolute stone cold classics, a jolly short ditty with an easy to remember melody. Pacing isn't crazy, so you'll be able to practice your rhythm for this one, and I will cover rhythm in a future lesson, but for now I'm going to strum through it just so you can get a feel for how you should be practicing changing those chords. So we're going to go. Love, love me do, you know I love you, I'll always be true, so please love me do, whoa, love me do. And that's pretty much it. So those verses are just the G and the C chord, and then the only different bit in the song is the bridge, which goes someone to love, somebody new, someone to love, someone like you. Now if you're finding chord changes challenging, which quite frankly many of you will be, I did when I started out, especially with that G chord, I'm going to show you another chord now. Well, don't worry, it's going to make your life a lot easier. It's a C add 9. Don't worry about the name of the chord. That's totally irrelevant. We'll deal with music theory and how chords are made in a future lesson. But for now, we just need to know the shape of it, don't we? So here's the chord box, somewhere around here. And here's how it looks. And that's how it sounds. It's beautiful. And it's basically the same shape as the G chord. Only the only 2 fingers you need to move are these 2, your Peter pointer and your middle finger. They're going to go from the low E and the A respectively. And you're going to move them towards your feet by 1 string, both of them. So your middle finger is now on the 3rd fret on the A string, and your first finger is on the 2nd fret on the D. And then you play the next one open, and then they're already there. Now we don't play the low E string, so our lowest note is this, the one your middle finger is pushing down. That's a C add 9. So now, when we're changing chords, all we've got to do is move 2 fingers. You got love, love me do, you know I love you, I'll always be true, so please love me do. Yeah, and so on. Now when you want to go to the D chord, keep your ring finger on the B string, move those 2, the busy fingers down so you've got your D shape, and lift your little finger off. C add 9, G. Song number 2 is Sweet Home Alabama by Leonard Skinner. If you don't know that song, there is a link in the description to a video. Now, as everyone progresses at a different pace, wherever you're at, I would encourage you to sing or murmur along to the song as you strum the chords to get used to where the chord changes happen. In time, you'll be able to pick up the pace so that you can play along with the record. CD, MP3, stream, whatever. I'm just going to go through it strumming the chords when the chord changes happen. The order in which you'll play the chords that I showed you last time is D, then C, then G. Then I'll show you a slightly more song-accurate version of it with some guitar tab. Sweet Home Alabama, we're going to do something along these lines. So, big wheels keep on turning, carry me home to see my kin, singing songs about the Southland. Miss Alabama once again, and I think it's a sin. So your verses, you're going to do your best Leonard Skinner impression, and you're going to play through those 3 chords, and then by the time you're ready for the chorus, the chords are exactly the same. We're going to go D, Sweet Home Alabama, where the skies are so blue. Sweet home Alabama, Lord, I'm coming home to you. Now if you're ready to spice things up a little bit, then there's a more record accurate version in guitar tab format. I'll put the tab in the PDF in the description. So if you remember in the previous lesson, the guitar tab tells us what frets to put our fingers on, so what number fret to hold down. And so for chords, it's just a vertical line of numbers. But what we've got here is picking around the strings. So you might think that when you look at it initially that you would be going something like that. So if you can keep that hand doing that, all you've got to work on then is that's all I'm asking you to do. Yeah, so I hope that gives you an idea of some more things you can practice to either do a simple version just for the sake of singing it through in your room and getting used to chord changes, and how you can add a little bit of flavour to it with picking, which I promise will become a lot more natural the more you play your guitar. Now obviously I plan to keep this lesson to songs that just use those 3 chords that I showed you in the previous lesson. I've already introduced the variant of C, but I'd be doing you a massive disservice if I didn't show you E minor while we're here, as I guarantee a ton of the songs, if not most of them, that you would want to be able to play have got a minor chord in there. And on the guitar, E minor is just magic. You know, it's home of just yes, brilliant. It's just tons of stuff. It's the sorry, I'm just in like an E minor hole now. That's a weird sentence. For the next song, we're going to need E minor, which is dead easy. It's 2 fingers. Let's use these busy fingers again, first finger and middle finger. Put them on the 2nd fret, on the A string and the D string, and then you play all of the strings. That's E minor, and it's magic, because you can go to a G chord by leaving, your first finger is going to be the lazy one here. All the other ones can just move to the 3rd fret that need to go on the 3rd fret. So I'm getting ahead of myself. There are loads of songs you can play now because you've got 4 chords and a variant of one of the chords to mess around with. We're going to learn Good Riddance, Time of Your Life by Green Day. I brought you crashing into the 90s. So as with the previous songs, we're going to do G, C add 9 and D. Okay? So we're going to go. Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. Then we're going to go to an, actually we're going to do it to an E minor 7, so just keep this finger here and put those 2 fingers where they need to go for E minor, and you've got an E minor 7. And it's beautiful. So make the D best of this test and don't ask why. Back to E minor 7. It's not a question, but a lesson learned in time. To E minor 7, it's something unpredictable. To G. Ah, this is good. So E minor 7 to G, just moving your middle finger there and putting your little finger down. And in the end it's right. I hope you have the D time of your life. And as with the previous ones, this hand can do all of those same things as when you're doing the strumming, but we can try picking around it, so follow the tab. So just remember when you're doing the tab, to just keep this hand is not the hand you're going to be focusing on, because you know that's just going to sit there. All you got to worry about really is which string you're hitting, which is the one you're going to pick up on the tab, because you know where the chord changes are. So just play around with it, and when you're feeling more comfortable, a bit more relaxed, and your fingers aren't smarting from it, you're being a total beginner, you can start to get a little bit more loose with it. These chords are absolutely fabulous now. You can play Disarm by Smashing Pumpkins. You know, or a variant of, you can play Wonderwall. Which is great. Those two fingers, they stay there for pretty much the whole song there, and then these two just do all the hard work. Please give those songs a listen. There is a playlist in the description, and there is also a PDF link that you can download, which has got the tab and the chord boxes, so you can peruse those at your leisure and practice them. I would encourage you to play them even if you don't like the songs, just because it's good to have something to practice on the journey to playing whatever it is that you want to play, which hopefully you've let me know in the comments, so I can perhaps help you out with that. In the next video, we're going to look at power chords, which will massively broaden your guitar playing horizons.